I've got your back.
Hi.
Hey there. Something I can help you with?
What's the story with this place?
Well, for starters, my name's Chuck Finley. Part of a group of outcasts from the Brotherhood of Steel. We're from the D.C. area, and this bunker is our home in the Commonwealth.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're on a bit of a crusade. We're here to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless. You know, in a world full of criminals who operate above any law. Now listen, sorry about that. Our entertainment options here are kind of limited. But to answer your question, you could say we're like the Brotherhood of Steel, but without the whole, Nazi vibe. We generally believe that all sentient humanoids have a right to exist. So we don't start fights with others just because their skin or DNA is a little different than ours. Except feral ghouls. Fuck those guys. And come to think of it, most super mutants too. Bunch of bitchy little girls. Anyway, we mostly do mercenary work to pay the bills, hostage rescue, wild animal control, escort some travelers to and from major trading hubs, shit like that. We try not to be evil. And of course, we search and accumulate as much technology as we can.
Why did you leave the Brotherhood in the first place?
It's complicated, but the short version is, the Brotherhood of Steel started out on the West Coast, shortly after the Great War, and its original mission was to hoard pre-war technology. A little over 30 years ago, the Brotherhood sent a group east to explore. And, well, that group eventually settled in the D.C. Wasteland, which is where most of the crew here grew up. Our leader was a man named Elder Lyons. So, in addition to acquiring technology, Lyons believed it was important to be a good neighbor and help out the local community, which eventually didn't sit well with most of the other Brotherhood. You see, we were involved in a massive project to provide clean drinking water to the D.C. Wasteland, and, well, that's a long fucking story. Over time, more and more of the members of the East Coast Brotherhood chapter began to view assisting the D.C. community as a waste of our resources. Then Elder Lyons died. And let's just say shit got interesting after that. A few years passed and there was a power struggle, and ultimately our choices were to follow the 16-year-old who was appointed elder by the West Coast Brotherhood, or to leave for greener pastures. Most people stayed. We chose to leave. That was 4 years ago. We headed northeast to the Commonwealth and been making a living here ever since.
I wanted to ask you about something else.
Okay, shoot.
How can I get in?
Well, obviously we don't let just anyone in. The only reason you made it through the front door is our scouts spotted you a mile away and radioed in that you matched the description of the person who's been taking out raiders lately. So we turned off the turrets and figured we'd give you an audience. We work on a you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours system here. If you want in, you gotta do something for us first.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
The job is to retrieve a weapon for one of our brothers. As background, we do a fair amount of work transporting traders and patrons to and from Fusion City. It's a goddamn dangerous job providing transportation through the glowing sea, but it does pay well. One of our crew goes by the name Grabthar. Well, he got denied entrance to Fusion City after taunting the guards there, and they confiscated his weapons and supplies. Anytech, the security division of Fusion City, never really formally charged Grabthar with anything, but the items they confiscated ended up being sold at one of their public auctions. And one of the items they took was Grabthar's sledgehammer. That weapon has a lot of serious sentimental value to Grabthar since it was given to him by his late brother Warvin right before he died.
Get to the point. What do you need?
Right. So Anytech holds public auctions every now and then, and that's where they sell their confiscated property. I think the last one was over at the church in Nantic Banks. Anyway, head over to Nantic Banks and see what you can find out about the auction and track down the sledgehammer. Bring the weapon back to me and we'll see about letting you in the bunker. Deal?
Come on, let me in.
No deal. You help us, we help you. But you gotta take the first step. Are you in?
No promises, but I'll see what I can do.
Alright, I'll mark the location of the church on your map.
there!
No one's tried to start making movies again. I should make a movie. Just you and me. I need is 3 girls and 1 cup. Why the cup, you may ask? Well, so I can drink cup. Hey, are you the plumber?
No, I'm Jangles, the moon monkey.
Yeah, that boys. Looks like we got ourselves a comedian. The bathroom is downstairs. It's been out of order since we first opened. It looks like most of the pipes are gonna need replacement. Folks around here are getting fed up about heading outside each time to do their business. Last week, one of our guys, little Joey, headed outside to take a shit, and Devil showed up and tore him a new one. Don't get me wrong, I never really liked Joey, but as you can probably imagine, incidents like that aren't particularly good for business, if you know what I mean. Anyways, glad you're here. It'll be nice to get this place fully operational. So, do you need anything before getting started?
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Sam Cruel. I'm originally from Sweden. Family got pretty bad over there when I was a kid, so my family took a boat to the States. If they'd known in advance how brutal life in the Commonwealth could be, I doubt I would have made the same choice. They were killed in a super mutant raid when I was 13. We're running with this gang ever since. It's my job to keep tabs on settlements and other raiding groups in these parts. Got a network of informants I used to keep our guys busy. Also useful when you need to find a plumber.
What's the story with this place?
Never been to a raider bar before, huh? We used to hang out over at Club Fusion, but we got banned. Bunch of oversensitive cunts running that place. So, we hang out here now. If you ask me, we're better off.
Just looking for something?
And I'm betting you know right where to find it.
Check with Vadeva, downstairs. It sells weapons and armor. Also some weird shit. I tried not to ask too many questions. It's worth talking to if it's any good you want defense, but don't let the cheerful demeanor fool you. He's a stone cold killer. You get on his bad side, he won't just kill you, he'll fuck your corpse. And worst part, he won't even cuddle with it afterwards.
Thought I heard fighting. Those mutants trying to get inside again?
I know I can be an asshole sometimes, and I just wanted to let you know that it's just because I love being an asshole. Good talk.
Always get so jumpy after a fight.
This isn't anything like training. Shooting at plywood. How's that supposed to get me ready for this hell?
Hi.
Hey, 60 Beast.
What's the story with this place?
A few months back, the raiders were causing too many problems at Club Fusion, so Fusion City implemented various security measures to keep them out. But that didn't change the fact that raiders still need a place to get drunk, let loose, and stare at titties all night. So I set up shop here and opened a raider bar.
You're in charge?
Yeah, I run the place.
Nice to meet a friendly face.
Probably not what you expected walking into a raider bar, huh?
I wanted to ask you about something else.
Okay.
I'm looking around for something, and I'm betting you know right where to find it. Here you go. Check it out.
Oh yeah, the sledgehammer, I have that. The sledgehammer isn't for sale though.
Nothing's free. I know how it is. What if I paid 100 caps up front?
Tell you what, there's another weapon I'm trying to acquire. Track it down for me and I'll trade you the sledgehammer for it.
I can see where this is going.
The weapon I'm looking for is a dildo bat. About a month ago, some guy walked in here desperate for caps and pawned off a bunch of stuff. It was mostly low-value stuff, so I didn't think to examine the dildo bat carefully. I sold the bat to a guy named Will for 20 caps. A couple days later, another customer comes in asking for the bat. Of course, I asked him why on earth would he want to buy a dildo bat. He says because there's a treasure map hidden in the tip. I asked him what the map was too, and after some convincing, he confessed it was the map and access code to the treasure of Jamaica Plain.
Wait. Were you just playing a joke on me?
If we could find the treasure of Jamaica Plain, that would get this place fully operational. So what do you think? Are you up for tracking down that dildo bat?
Yeah, I guess.
The guy I sold the bat to lives in a bus just north of Fort Hagen, Red Rocket. Good luck out there.
Hey.
Hey, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be in here.
What is this place, anyway?
Nothing that concerns you. Not that you'd believe me if I told you.
Why? Don't you trust me?
Fine. This is my time machine. It broke, and I'm trying to fix it.
That's an interesting story.
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
Oh, what the fuck? Alright, you've got my attention. What do you want? And how do you know Brian Virgil?
Virgil was a scientist in the Institute, right? Did you know him?
Of course I knew him. He was in charge of the FEV program. You know, the one responsible for kidnapping people, turning them into super mutants, and releasing them back into the Commonwealth. That program created the Commonwealth's entire super mutant population. Hundreds of them. And the worst part is, the Institute gained nothing by doing it. For decades, they threw resources down that FEV rat hole while abandoning projects like cybernetics that were showing real promise. Eventually, Virgil had a mental breakdown, destroyed the FEV lab, and escaped to the Commonwealth. That was the last I heard of him. I figured he must be dead by now.
How did you escape the Institute?
I used the distraction created by the Institute's hunt for Virgil to make up a bogus mission that required my presence on the surface. Allie Fillmore does it all the time, so she can get her nethers twixt over at Fusion City. My mission request was approved almost immediately. I made copies of all my research, and once on the surface, left a small trail to make it look like I had been killed.
What is it you're working on?
I was serious when I said time travel. It's been my life's work. I made a breakthrough on the project while I was still at the Institute. When I realized how close we were to actually achieving time travel, I knew I couldn't let the technology fall into the Institute's hands. That's when I started planning my escape. It was all so simple in theory, but things started going downhill once I reached the Commonwealth.
What do you mean by that?
Long story, but ultimately I had to borrow money from a raider gang to keep my research going. When I couldn't pay back the loan, they repossessed my equipment. Of course, the raiders have no idea what to do with this stuff, but the concept of time travel intrigues them, so they let me continue my research here. I figure this is as safe a place as any to hide out from the Institute. Who's gonna look for the most advanced technology ever created by the human race in the basement of a raider strip club on the ass end of the Commonwealth?
So it is possible, then?
If you mean time travel, yes. I initiated a dozen successful trips, But then the circuit shorted out and damaged several components. Until I obtain the replacement parts, the time machine is out of commission. Say, you feel like taking a trip back in time? If you could locate the parts for me, I'll let you have a go in the machine.
Absolutely. I'm in.
Here's the list of parts I need. Bring them back to me, and we'll get the time machine operational.
Hey, could you give me a hand? There's 7 dead hookers outside in the alley for Badava's birthday. We need some help moving them aside. I'm kidding. It'll arrive next week.